What's going on, everybody? This is Nick with just another tech and gaming show, coming back to bring you another episode, as always, with my co-host, Victor.
Hey, everybody.
What is going on, all? So, coming at you again with another video. Oh, I'm sorry. With another podcast, but if you're on YouTube, you have a video, just a video of gameplay. We're playing Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night, for the first time. So, I guess you got to sign in, and then you start the game. So you're going to see us get started here. I'm just going to keep the stock name, and I'm not making a character if I can help.
Is it Miriam? Is your stock name Miriam?
Miriam, yeah.
Yeah, I almost left Miriam.
That's the stock name. That's my person's name. That's what we're going with. So anyways, So we're going to get started here. You might see some lapses in gameplay because we're going to stop and talk for a minute for the podcast. If you don't know, we try to do this podcast once a week. And we've started this new thing where the gameplay that you're seeing if you're watching on YouTube is happening as we do the podcast. I don't know. I feel like I should read the screen right now as I'm reading this. But I'm not going to do that. No. You could watch and enjoy or whatever. Hopefully I don't miss too much of the story by just going and talking here. So let's go ahead and jump into it, Victor. Other than Bloodstained, have you been playing anything this week?
Yeah, I've been playing a bit of Call of Duty, Black Ops 2. I don't know why. Just had the urge to play it. And there is one treat that I like to treat myself to every once in a while. It is Guitar Hero 3 on the Xbox 360.
So every so often you bust out that old game and enjoy some Guitar Hero. Oh, yes. Tonight's a special night. You pull it out.
Oh yeah, I might even do it tomorrow because tomorrow's my birthday. It's a special day, so I'm just gonna nostalgia it all day.
What's up? I thought your birthday was yesterday. You're like, it's my birth week, Nick. I was born this week.
Yeah. Why limit myself to one day off of work when I could have a whole week off? So.
Yeah, no, I understand. I get it. Yeah, Victor's not at work right now. He left the workload on me and other people, mostly me. I don't think anybody does anything else at our job. I'm not sure. Without you there, I'm going to be honest with you. The tickets aren't going anywhere. If I don't pull the ticket, I don't see it leave. I'm just being... Anyway.
I come back to them, so... Even though I'm off, not at work, it's they're waiting for me when I go back.
Yeah, you'll see it. Don't worry. Your tickets didn't get reassigned. Anyways, enough work talk.
Yes.
I haven't played anything. This will be the first game that I played in the last week. So
wow.
I'm going to enjoy this time.
This is the last, like, this is really the first game, like, no mobile games or anything like that?
God, I don't want to talk about Clash of Clans anymore.
We have to mention it.
I sparingly pull it out and just tap around on the screen and, I don't know, do whatever in Clash of Clans on occasion. By the way, I'm sorry, anybody that's watching the video, you're just watching the opening to Bloodstained, but it's okay. Oh my god, maybe something's going to happen. So anyways, we'll see. I did want to get us started, though. I wanted to kick it off by just saying I had mentioned in the last episode that I think, possibly the last two episodes because I was excited about it, that, oh my god, the game's starting. So, wait, all you do is pick your name, but is it always the same girl?
Yeah, I think so.
I like how she looks. It's cool.
I was going to say something as well. I like the way she looks as well. She's very confident.
Yeah, even with a name like Miriam.
Sounds like a receptionist name. Sorry. Anyone whose name is Miriam, I apologize.
Yeah, I'm sure that plenty of Miriams listen to this show. So, anyways, I wanted to mention that I said I was going to get the Surface Pro X. I said that I was going to be doing an unboxing on it and then possibly some, like a review video and maybe a comparison with the iPad Pro. And that is not going to happen at all because I did pre-order it. So it's kind of a little bit of a story. I apologize for anybody that's uninterested. I pre-ordered the device. They ended up canceling my order. They canceled my order the day before it was supposed to ship. And then all I did was reorder it. I don't know why. I should have just left it but I reordered it. They got it to me 2 days after launch, so I had it. It was supposed to come out on a Tuesday, and it ended up getting to me on a Thursday. And when it got to me, I opened it up. I got myself all ready. I started an unboxing video, and I open it up, and there's a crack in the screen. Upper left corner, barely visible. I got everything set up. I signed on, everything, started using it, and then the light caught it in just the right way, and I went, oh, perfect, there's a crack in the screen. So I did not bother uploading any unboxing video. I didn't do anything like that.
Just because.
I think you should. I think you shouldn't talk about it at all. I'm not particularly happy about how that went down. It's made me so mad. But anyways, yeah. So I am pretty upset about that, and immediately, as soon as I saw the crack in the screen, I just boxed it all up and sent it back. And lucky for me, it really seems like, well, we're getting the meat of the game here. It looks like I gotta take care of this guy. Kick your face off. So, oh no.
Oh my gosh, when you die, do you start from the beginning again?
Demon power. I don't know. I like you have never played this game. I'm glad the achievement pops up and blocks you though. Press Y to trigger a projectile.
Just be
launch
prepared.
a bouncing ball of water at enemies. Anyways, sorry as I clear my throat. The device apparently isn't very good, and that just means that ARM for Windows is still pretty bad. So I would just suggest not getting the device. Apparently there's no quality control, and I mean, I'm sure there's quality control, but for me it feels like there was no quality control. I was the quality control. It's very upsetting. I sent it back. I still haven't gotten a refund, Microsoft. And by the way, they canceled my order. That was Microsoft. I bought it from the Microsoft store. They're the ones that canceled my order.
Damn it, Microsoft.
But, yeah, come on, Microsoft. Seriously. Anyways, so yeah, I'm glad that I don't have it. Not a big deal. I did get rid of my iPad Pro 2018 11-inch to get it, and I'm super upset about that. And I really would like to have gone back in time and not done that now. So I might be going and buying a new iPad Pro. You know, it was all for nothing, all for a loss of money. That's what it was. Anyways, I'm wondering if, you know, I'm kind of curious to see. God, I can't even tell you how many times my controller disconnects, by the way. It's so frustrating. Oh, come on. Seriously? All right. Well, I got to plug this piece of crap in. I swear it doesn't tell you the battery's dying or anything. It's wonderful.
Yep, mine's dying as well.
Xbox.
So we're both
another
on
Microsoft product. What were the chances?
Hey, they may have their faults, but
Victor is. Victor would throw himself in front of a loaded gun to protect his Xbox. I can't even express how true that is. Oh, God, of course. I apologize. You guys are gonna have to wait for just a second here.
Dang, Nick. What are you doing to our YouTube viewers? You're doing this.
Even the podcast viewers have to sit there for a second while I get the controller.
We're just on pause right now. So I'm gonna fill the time with this. I want to clarify that in this game, when you die, you actually do start from the beginning. So, hate to break it to you, Nick, but when you die,
are you serious?
You're going back. So that is fun. And I also wanted to mention that there was one more game. Sorry, I know I'm backtracking a little bit, but there was one more game I did want to mention that I did play this week. It is a little bit of an older game as well. I've been playing GTA 5. It's still kind of relevant, but their online base is just so full of characters that it just keeps it entertaining. So GTA 5, it's still relevant and it's still fun, and there's still new content coming out, which is awesome. So for those of you who are hesitant, keep playing GTA 5. It's awesome.
This game looks pretty good. I
Yeah,
can't
it
fault it
does.
too much now that I can play because my Xbox controller is plugged in.
Miriam is
S-
awesome. I like Miriam.
Miriam's your girl.
She's my girl.
Oh, here we go. I didn't realize that I had to get up on here. Anyways, so I don't know. I'm very disappointed in the. Oh, I'm not
Sincerely
liking the
disappointed.
boots so much. The boots kind of suck. So, yeah, I'm pretty disappointed in that Microsoft Surface Pro X. I gotta be honest with you, I'm not sure if it's a good decision or not, but I'm thinking about getting the Microsoft Surface Pro 7. Oh, that guy's not. He doesn't look like good news.
7, huh?
Oh, can I dodge effectively? Oh, I think I... Did I beat him? There we go. That's what's up. Beat him. Beat that sucker. So, anyways, yeah, I was thinking about getting the Pro 7. I'm not really like that. The Pro 7 doesn't excite me like the Pro X did. Like, I thought the Pro X was going to be super cool and, like, something relatively new and enjoyable. And I just don't think that I guess they just didn't really accomplish that, I would say.
If you had
And
a working
unfortunately,
model.
yeah, if I had a working model, maybe I would care for it more. But it also seems like it just didn't turn out like a very good thing. The ARM processor just, it apparently doesn't, it lend itself very well to Windows, and that's fine. I don't need the device, so sent it back. And let me tell you about my other woes. So I sent it back, and I tried to get a 10.5-inch iPad Pro, the older iPad Pro, because I really just use my iPad to just kind of browse the web, watch YouTube videos from time to time, and I don't know, just write. I don't really do anything
Poems?
else on it. I just use it for browsing the
Write
web for the
poems?
most part. And what'd you say?
I said you use it to write poems.
Yes, I write poems on it a lot. No, I mostly just watch YouTube videos. I use it for media consumption for the most part. Just a faster thing to bring than my computer.
Yeah.
And it's super disappointing to me because I've tried to buy 3 of them now. 3 of them from
That is not
Amazon.
an overstatement or an understatement. He
No,
really did.
yeah, you heard my little testament to that. Unfortunately, I'm super disappointed. I'm really really upset with this. I've tried to buy a renewed iPad from them 3 times now, 3 times, and I'm so furious because every time I've gotten a busted ass iPad, and it makes me so mad the amount of times I've gotten a beat up I'm sorry, that's not really even the thing. Like the first iPad I got that was sent to me, you could tell that the screen was replaced and they did a poor job on replacing the screen. It made me very upset. You could see the adhesive all around the screen, which was, just to be honest, really upsetting. And oh, look at that, I lose so much from not using the country dress. Rusted ring. I already have that on. I gotta equip her. I can't. Hairband. Look at that. Oh no, put the
Yep.
hairband on.
You gotta tie your hair.
The musket has lower attack. I don't know. Okay. Well, anyways, so yeah, I have gotten the first one that I got was you could tell that the screen was not put on very well, and that was kind of frustrating, to be honest with you. Then the issue that I had was the second one came in and it was stuck in a boot loop. I tried just updating the software, and then I tried. I'm just so curious by this game. I just not played it yet. I don't know, just working on it. So, anyways, you could tell that my God, my level of attention, it's gone.
I don't even know. I
But
think I'm stuck.
the second one was stuck in a boot loop, and that was super irritating. I couldn't get it fixed. I reinstalled iOS, and it still meant nothing. That was, again, like I said, extremely frustrating. This is so interesting. I don't understand what's happening here. Directional shard. Aim and push the right trigger. Launch a fireball. Oh, interesting. Wait, hold on. Boom. Yeah. Fire that cannon. Okay. So, anyway, God, I almost feel like we should stop doing this live gameplay thing because I just get so engrossed. And partially, it is partially entertaining, I'm sure, if you're watching it online, but if you're just listening to us, you're probably like, my God, they're so distracted. And I'm going to stop for a second. So, yeah, I tried to replace it. I've gotten 3 bad iPads so far from the Amazon Renewed. Now, it's not actually, like, directly from Amazon, shipped and sold by Amazon. It's by a third party, but then, like, Amazon is, I don't know, supports it or whatever, handles it or something. So, the first 2 that I got seemed promising. The first one, the screen looked like I could see adhesive all around the edges. It was very frustrating. The second one came in, looked perfect, but it was just stuck in a boot loop. So like every 3 minutes, the iPad would just shut itself off, turn back on. In the middle of you doing something, whatever, didn't matter. Just restarted like every 3 minutes. Now I got another one from a totally different company that's on Amazon. And this one came in, and I swear there's a hairline crack in the upper left corner. I'm so pissed. It's like $500 cheaper to get this than it is for me to buy a brand new 2018 iPad Pro. But at the same time, I'm so pissed because I keep getting these iPads that are just in unacceptable condition. These are not like new or renewed conditions that they're acting as though they are. And I don't know. It's super frustrating to me. I called Amazon support. They did nothing. I don't really know. I guess you can't really expect them to do too much because they're not the seller. But at the same time, like, the product is sold on Amazon, so it's frustrating to me that the product's sold on Amazon. They're more than willing to take the profit for the sale going well, but then when the sale goes poorly, they're like, I would contact the seller of the item if I were you. The sale goes correctly, we just take the money. Who gives a shit? But anyways, so
Yeah,
I've been less
so
than pleased with that, to tell you the truth. And so I am disappointed. Oh, you're right, Victor. I might die soon. Oh, no.
Sincerely disappointed.
Shoot him, yeah. Marked sincerely disappointed. Get off your high horse, Richie. How do we use a potion up in this piece? There we go. Anyways, so, yeah, I've been disappointed with that. Those are my woes, my computing woes. Probably been talking for way too long about that, but, you know.
And if you've had any similar experience, drop them in the comments below. We'd like to hear about them and just to kind of.
We'd like to hear about all the times that Amazon ruined your life, or Microsoft, or, you know, whatever company.
Whoa. I don't know about Microsoft, but, you know.
Whoa. I've never heard of Microsoft doing anything wrong, but, you know, maybe there are some other instances. Somebody must have. I think Apple tampered with it, Nick.
I think it's a disgruntled employee.
Those are just the babblings of a disgruntled employee. Anyways, so yeah, I've been less than ecstatic this week as I've gone through all these effing troubles. I guess it's been going on since last week, which is the worst. It's just the worst. It makes me kind of infuriated.
I'm sincerely sorry to hear that. You know, like anyone who has gone through such a thing like that, it's very disappointing. It's like it kills your enthusiasm for really wanting the product that you paid for, especially going with it. How many times, Nick? 4 times? Like it's ridiculous. Like the amount of time you've wasted on something like that, it ruins the mood and like the joy from actually having that product.
Oh, this is cool. I just saved. I'm in an area you're gonna have to watch or just sit there for a minute. Yeah, it ruins it for me. I'm upset with it, and you know, obviously, I didn't go to get to get an exchange. Yeah. But I don't know. The product didn't turn out very well, so it is what it is.
If you had any good experiences from Amazon as well, we'd like to hear about that as well.
I don't give a shit about your good experiences. Don't put them in the comments. So that's all I have to say. Let's go ahead and move on because we've been talking about this for 17 or so minutes and really just tearing up the time with that. So let's move on. What I really wanted to talk about today, and what you might have thought was kind of cool, Victor, was drones. Got some new drones coming out. One of them is already here. One of them is on its way, and we wanted to talk about both of them for you right now. So let's talk about the one that's out currently. We got the Mavic Mini, and that came out from DJI. Now, I'm going to, again, stop for a second. Oh, hold on. Got to take care of the danger. Okay, so I'm just going to read you a couple specs from our little gathering of spec sheet here. It's a $400 consumer-friendly price for the drone by itself, or $499 for the Fly More bundle, which is honestly the better deal, so get the Fly More bundle. That comes with 3 batteries and a battery bay to charge them in. And I believe it comes with a case, too. Batteries are essential. You're going to want extra batteries. Yeah. Now, the thing is, too, though, with this is that even though you're going to want some extra batteries for it, it does actually get 30 minutes of flight time off one battery. Now, Victor and I can tell you, we can attest to the concept of it may get 30 minutes of battery from the flight, allegedly. But I would say totally bear in mind that it's probably more like 25, maybe 24 minutes, because that's how it usually turns out to be with with these drones.
And without getting super technical, you have to account for humidity, temperature, wind, like a lot of those things will play a factor. So just keep in mind, if you haven't had a drone before, or those are some factors to keep in mind when even trying to select one. Because if you live in a really windy area, you're just not going to get the same battery life someone from a not so windy area would get.
So you heard it here, folks.
Bear that in mind.
A not so windy area. Stay out of those stay out of the windy areas. Be in the not so windy areas.
Yes.
Thank you. Anyways, the DJI Mavic Mini. Ooh, I just got a claymore. Ooh, this is so exciting. Let's get that. Oh, and a short sword. Look at that. More damage. Oh. I bet that the claymore probably
have a weapon? I don't have a weapon.
Well, I'm really good at the game, and you're really not. So it makes it really easy. I'm excited for this sword. Can I do different? Kind of. So anyways, sorry, stopping again. The weight of the drone, God. You can get a 4-kilometer range on it. It's extended Wi-Fi. You can go up to 29 miles an hour. That's in sport mode. I think the average speed is about 20. It takes 2.7K video, which is close to 4K, but not quite, kind of in between 1080p and 4K. Does that 30 frames a second. You got 1080p, 60 frames a second with a 3-axis gimbal stabilization. So pretty good for the money.
3-axis gimbal. That's very important.
Yes, that is exactly what you want. So what you have here is a really good drone for pretty cheap. And here's a really big benefit for you. This is something that I think people are going to find pretty, oh man, that still hurt me, pretty fascinating, is that the drone is only 249 grams, so you don't actually have to register with the FAA, which is really super cool. That is something that Victor and I don't know, because we did have to register with the FAA for our drones, since they are way heavier than 249 grams. But again, 249 grams with the battery in it, it's pretty cool. I
think registering is like $5-10 for like a couple years, so it's not like super expensive either. But it is an additional step you will have to take.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nick, for cutting you off.
No. I think it's cool that you don't have to register it. I think that one of the benefits there... I'm sorry, I'm stopping again. I think that one of the benefits there for DJI in particular is that they've made a really consumer-friendly drone where people don't even have to really know much about drones in order to get this device. And you're not spending a whole bunch of money. They're kind of advertising it as like the camera in the sky thing. It's not necessarily meant for an enthusiast like yourself or me, or somebody that has maybe the Autel Evo like myself, or the DJI Mavic Pro Platinum like yourself. It's more geared towards the common average consumer, probably doesn't have a drone yet, and you're not really interested in spending too much money on it.
But for that price, the range you get is actually very impressive.
Honestly, I probably won't do it, but I thought about getting rid of the Autel Evo and switching it out for the for this drone. I'm really excited to see it, and I think that looks great, and I'm really dying in this game pretty bad. But I'm really excited for this drone, and I want to check it out, and I honestly want to get it, but I'm not going to. I don't think, although I might, and I probably will. I tend to spend more money than I have, so who knows?
That is true, ladies and gentlemen. That is true.
Hey, I
With
can
him and
attest to
me
that.
both.
He really does. Yeah. Let's see. Oh shit.
We don't do this for our benefit. We do this for your guys' benefit too. So we can review all these cool things we get.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I don't care about myself. That's the point. This is a selfless act, buying all this stuff for myself, and reviewing it for you guys. Could be way worse. You know. And anyways, yeah, it's like charity, in a sense.
Yeah.
I'm not giving it away. I'm definitely keeping it for myself. Don't even ask. But let's get to this save spot. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm probably just gonna sit here because I kind of feel like this is extremely distracting, and some of these games I don't know how I'm able to play Dead Cells without getting completely distracted, but some of them I can. And oh great, the timer stopped, so I have no idea where we're at. But we got to get through this, so let's just push right along, and if I can play, I'll play. So the other drone that we want to talk about is the Skydio 2. That one's coming out for $999. And the thing about this one is it's supposed to be more of a consumer-friendly user experience as a studio drone. So the drone actually doesn't come with a controller for $1,000, and it's not necessarily meant to come with a controller because you're supposed to control it with your phone. The thing about this one is that it's an autonomous drone, so it's really meant to just fly and have this super dynamic capability to follow you with its 4K 60 frames a second camera and its 3-axis gimbal stabilization as well. Now, you can get a controller for it. The controller is going to add an extra $150 to the cost. It gives you 3.5 kilometer range. You have 23-minute flight time, which is pretty good, but it's probably going to level out to, I'd say, like 18 minutes or so. And it works off extended Wi-Fi as well. You can go 36 miles an hour. I'd highly suggest checking out videos on this one. This one is really cool, something that you need to look into. And you can see how well that dynamic tracking works. It would beat out anything that my Autel Evo can do. It'd beat anything that Victor's Mavic Pro Platinum can do.
Whoa. No,
Come on. And so it's just something that is super fascinating and really interesting. And this poses a question to me, I think, of like drone categories. What we've seen so far in the drone market, I would say, are two categories, or I'm sorry, not really two categories, but not really even a category, just pricing categories, where that's all that really differentiates it. So, you have like the really cheap drones, but drones that still are, acceptable, fly around the house, fly in the backyard, like the Tello,
Yeah, the Tello, great drone. I own it. It is a great drone. Very cheap.
That's a really good example of a cheap budget drone, low end cost, but still good. Mid-range drone, I would say, is where you kind of come towards the Paradenofi or the DJI Mavic Air. The DJI Spark kind of falls in between those two. I would still say it's closer to mid-range. And then you have the high-end drones, so like the Autel Evo, the DJI Mavic Pro Platinum. I would also say like ultra high-end, you get like the DJI Mavic Pro 2. And so it's really just price differentiators, and of course you get different features at a different price point, but it's all just kind of adds to what the previous ones can do. So they just kind of build off of each other until you get to like, this is just really good software and really good hardware, and it can go really far really fast, for a really long
Nick,
time.
Could you give our listeners and viewers just kind of like a sample bracket between this beginner, intermediate, and advanced kind of stages of drones, just so they kind of know what kind of bracket we're thinking of? I think we can estimate a certain price range for each type category for these.
I totally just did by saying which drones fell into which category, but I would say you have like kind of like the $300 and under drones, and then maybe like $400 to $800 is the mid range. So the low end is like 300 and less. Mid range is probably about 4 to 8, and I'd say 900 and above would be high end, and then really like maybe 1200 and above is like ultra high end or like super premium. if you really wanted to make like a subcategory for the high end. With this, the Studio kind of falls into the high end because it's $1,000 plus, but it really does seem worth the money, and I would say that it's, I think it's going to be worth it. I'm really interested. I kind of wanted to get one, but I also kind of want to get the Mavic Mini. I like my Autel Evo, to be honest with you, but I would rather have something cheaper, so maybe I will go for the Mavic Mini and get rid of my Autel Evo.
For the Skydio, is it its own company, or is it like a product from an existing company that does drones, or do you know that?
No, I think it's its own company. I think Skydio is its own company.
So I think
They're
that's
actually
something to
making
account for,
these
too.
in California and not in China, and that's a huge deal, I think. It's something that I honestly want to support.
Yeah.
I don't know if I will. It's hard to say. I definitely have to get rid of my Autel Evo if I do. So here's the thing. What I was trying to mention is that I almost feel like we are starting to see categories. It's actually starting to see categories. I apologize for the viewers. I'm just not playing anymore because this game's way too distracting and I'm just going to get completely stuck. But I kind of see this opening up categories in the drone market other than just price. And the reason why I say this is because the DJI Mavic Mini really starts to get into this area where it's $4 or $500 depending on whether or not you're going to get the Fly More bundle, which I would highly suggest that you do. But the point isn't that this is a mid-range drone. The point is that this is like a camera in the sky, or just like a camera you can take with you that can fly. And it sounds funny because it sounds like I'm just describing a drone to you, but this isn't about like the flying experience. It has a little bit of that capability, but this is more like the family drone to bring out with you on trips or maybe on vacations. That's the
Something
same thing
cool
as a
to
trip.
show your nephews or something.
Yeah, to take with you on vacation, to just fly around the backyard a little bit, to take with you if you're going hiking, to get some good family photos, maybe to get some wedding shots. This thing it's not really meant for it doesn't lend itself to the professional, it lends itself to the consumer, and it really does a good job of lending itself to the consumer. That's the point of this product. And I think that that's something that they've put together exceedingly well here. So I'm really excited to see that it exists, and I think that it works. It's going to work really well. I've seen a lot of reviews on it saying that it's a really good drone, and it makes me want to switch to it because, again, it's like a consumer-friendly drone that's a relatively good price, and it falls into this area where it's like it doesn't feel more expensive than it's worth. It feels like a really good value. It feels like something that anybody could just pick up and fly, and it looks like it's as simple and as complex as it needs to be.
I
And
think if
that's
this
just something
drone
that I
was
feel like
out,
is breaking its own category out.
yeah, and
But
I
it's
feel
been
like if
out
this
for a little
drone was
while.
out, yeah, I don't recall if this was out even when we were contemplating getting our first drone. Was it?
No. It definitely
I
was
don't
not.
think it was. But I think if it was, I think honestly we probably would have ended up with this. To be completely honest with you, I think we
I would
both
have
probably would
absolutely
have.
picked this up instead of any other drone. It's just such it's a convenience. Like, this is the convenience drone, and I think that in itself is kind of creating its own category. And I think the Skydio does a really good job of creating its own category as well, because it's this consumer friendly drone in the sense that it's an autonomous drone. So it's not really meant for you to fly it, it's meant for you to just take it with you, and then it's going to get these shots based off of what you tell it to do on your phone, and then it just goes and naturally does it without you having a controller. And then the cool part about the Skydio is if you want it to be kind of like a partner, or I guess I shouldn't say a partner, but if you want it to be partially like other drones that you could pick up where you can fly it with a controller and enjoy just like the flying experience as well, you can do that for an extra $150. And I think that that's the coolest part about these two drones, is that both of these kind of seem to be creating their own category. I mean, they're both consumer friendly, so it's not like creating the consumer friendly category, although there's an argument for that. It's creating the argument that there's a convenience drone now in the DJI Mavic Mini, and the Skydio 2 in the sense is also somewhat of a convenience drone, but a convenience drone in the sense of being an autonomous drone. And so
Yeah.
I think we're going to see, as drones continue to mature, as that market continues to develop, I think we're going to see more stuff like this where they kind of develop their own niches. You know, each drone there's drones that service a different type of consumer, whereas it's always just been about, well, how much money do you have? If you want a drone, it just depends on how much money you have, and then you can get a better drone for more money. And that's kind of what it's been. And I mean, you can make an argument against me, but like the broad spectrum of things, that's the way that it's essentially been.
Yeah, I'm
And
really excited to see how the software differs from the Autel software or the DJI software. Um,
in
Based on
terms
this
of the
whole
Skydio,
yeah, in terms of the Skydio, yeah, because I know it's based off, like you said, autonomous. So I just want to see how well it reacts. Um, I'm super looking forward to getting reviews. I mean, I don't even know if we'd get our hands on one, but I'd be very interested to see how this thing kind of
it'd be cool.
aligns with the ones
And
we
if
have.
we
Yeah,
did get it, it would have to be a review done like post its launch by a lot, because it's already been out for a while. And then I don't think either one of us is getting one anytime soon. But you know, if I get rid of my drone, or if you ended up getting rid of your drone, I could totally see getting this, and it would
yeah,
satisfy that like craving to have a drone, while at the same time keep your pocketbook happy too. So
exactly.
if you're looking for a drone and you're not sure what to get, and you don't want to spend a bunch of money but you want a quality device, I would highly suggest the Mavic Mini. Take a look at that. And you know, if you have money and you just want something cool that is a good autonomous drone, like almost the first one of its kind in a sense. If you're looking for an autonomous drone, take a look at the Skydio 2. I'd highly suggest looking both of those up. Now, I want to get into the next thing that we were going to talk about. Now the podcast is just moving right along, and I apologize for trying to play the game before. I almost feel like we might need to go back on this, Victor. This is... we might need to reconsider this. Like, I don't think I should start a new game for the first time, because I get so concerned with what I'm doing, and I'm like, I've never played this game. I have to know what I'm doing. So
No, I agree
I
with you.
apologize, but you're just going to watch Miriam just sit on the couch. Um,
She's on
anyways,
the couch.
yeah, she's just sitting on the couch. I found a safe spot. There's a couch. She's sitting there. It's almost like watching a live background. So, I don't know. You got something to view. So, MacBook 16-inch. We got a MacBook Pro
Yes.
16-inch. Apple quietly announced it yesterday, brought it out. I guess I wouldn't necessarily say quietly, because all kinds of reviewers already have their hands on it, but really exciting piece of technology. It's replacing the 2015, I'm sorry, the 2015. It's replacing the 15-inch MacBook Pro. Same price points, which is awesome in terms of the two like pre-made models that you don't like go through the process of like picking and choosing what you want to build it into. They got a new cooling system. It's supposed to be 35% better, something like that. But they have a new cooling system. It's a slightly thicker device. It's slightly bigger because of the 16-inch screen, but they trimmed the bezels down a little bit. Comes with 512 standard SSD. You got faster RAM in it. We now have GDDR6 VRAM in the device. It has 4 gigabytes standard. I believe what it comes with is, the AMD Radeon Pro 5300M for the base model, and then for the higher end model, you have the 5500M for the base model, both of them coming with 4 gigabytes of that GDDR6. Now, you
Yeah.
can configure up to the the AMD Radeon Pro 5500M with 8 gigs of GDDR RAM, but that's your choice. So
You have options there for what processing power you need.
the processing power, but also that graphical performance. And you can get it with a 6-core Intel i7 or an 8-core Intel i9. Good device. It looks good, looks promising. I personally wouldn't pick one up because I'm not interested in getting a bigger computer. But I don't know. How do you feel about it, Victor? What are you thinking? Think it
I
looks
like
good?
it. I think it looks good. It sounds definitely good. I'm just not liking what the price is going to be. I know it probably already has a set price. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but
No, it is. It's
um,
$2,400 for the base model and $2,800 for the upgraded model for that
okay,
step
yeah,
up. It's
but I mean,
honestly, it's really
it's an
worth the
Apple.
price.
It's a
I
MacBook.
feel
Yeah,
like
it's not bad.
it seems worth the price to me. It seems like the bigger MacBook is worth it again, and I think
And
that
it's
Apple
five.
did a killer job. So,
Yeah, and you get 512 standard of SSD storage space.
which is
So
pretty
that
solid.
yeah, which is very good. Yeah, for the price, I think I think I would consider. I mean, if realistically, if I didn't have my Mac now and I wanted to kind of upgrade, uh, that hard drive space is a big thing because having an external drive is not the same as having built-in storage. Um,
Right on the device, yeah.
yeah, it really Mac does not make it easy for stuff like that. So built-in
I agree
storage
with you.
definitely was nice. The features of this, and I'm really super excited. I want to hear how the speaker system sounds in this.
Apparently it's supposed to be pretty good. Yeah, it's got a six speaker stereo sound, and you got studio quality mics on it this time around. I heard the mics. I wouldn't say it's studio quality, but that doesn't mean that you could like. I think that a lot of these things where some people do video calls with each other in like YouTube videos, or sometimes they just record with the mic that they have on hand on their computer, and I think that that's drastically improved, but it's not like the same quality as our Blue Yetis, you know,
'Cause
um, Blue Yeti Minis, or I'm sorry, Nanos. Um, Anyways, I don't know if you had anything else to say about that one. I just thought it was really interesting and wanted to bring it up. I don't think either of us are going to get it, but what it really does is it raises the question to me for a 14-inch MacBook Pro instead of the 13-inch. And
yeah,
I honestly would really like to see that, but I would only really like to see it if there was a 6-core variant, because I don't think there's a 6-core variant now. I think all you can do is go up to quad core.
mhm.
And I would only really want to see it too if they put a dedicated graphics card in it. And I kind of feel like that's a lot to ask because
I,
there's only like, I think, I can only think of one 13-inch computer that has a dedicated graphics card in it, and it's made by Razer. So I could see Apple doing it. It wouldn't be for gaming, it would be for video editing, but I would super love to see that. And that could get me to upgrade. Now, I did just buy this MacBook this year, so I wouldn't upgrade anytime soon. But
I think they're
it'd
on
be
their
nice to
way
know if it was
though.
on the horizon.
I think based on all these upgrades and all the changes we're seeing with the MacBook Pro, I think they're definitely working to make it as close to a desktop replacement as possible. I mean, the specs on this is, I mean, compared to on a laptop, like they're impressive,
Yeah, it's a
hands
good
down.
looking
They're
device.
definitely
It's
impressive. Yeah, and
best
it's
MacBook so far.
efficient. The processing power is there. I mean, I in the coming years, I wouldn't be too surprised to see a Thunderbolt supported external GPU where you could just plug it in, do all your editing, all your encoding, all your
That's
compressing.
already a thing. You can already do that. The Thunderbolt port on our current Macs would allow us to do that. If you wanted, you can get an external GPU unit. You can even buy one from Apple, and you could just plug it right into your computer. The
Use it to
drivers are
compress it
already, I
correctly.
think, pre-installed um, for Radeon graphics cards. So if you got an AMD graphics card in your external GPU, you could just use it with your Mac, plug it right in. Your Mac should recognize it. NVIDIA is a little bit different. I think you gotta modify the drivers or something. I don't know. There's something about it where I was like, if I ever got an external graphics card, it wouldn't be NVIDIA.
Well, Apple work to NVIDIA partnership and compatibility.
I'm
That's what I
okay
want to
with it.
see.
I don't even care. We don't
Yeah,
use these
AMD.
things to game anyway. So,
Yeah, AMD's pretty good though. I mean, they're coming up in their prices. Price is very good. So yeah, I'm juiced. I'm gonna have to look into that.
yeah, I'm not gonna knock it. I think about that. I think it'd be cool. I always want to do it and then I don't, so I probably will never. But you never know. Um, I like the portability of the smaller ones, so that's why I'd like to see the 14. I don't think I have any interest in buying the 16, but I like the idea of it. Now
Yeah,
I
because
kind of want
mine's small too. Like I'm used to a 17-inch laptop screen, and
to. I
when I went
hate
to this
17-inch
MacBook,
laptops.
it was touchscreen. K, but yeah,
Yeah, that
it was
changes
cool.
everything.
It does. It does. Why click a button when you could click the screen and get smudges all
That's
over? It's
horrible. I'd
wonderful.
rather just have an iPad. I can't get behind that. I actually don't care that Apple doesn't make their MacBooks touchscreen. It means nothing to me. I had even when I used it on the Surface Pro X for the 5 minutes that I got to use it for, I was like, this is pointless.
Yeah, it's
Um,
very short lived. Not many laptops have that.
um, well, a lot. I mean, quite a few do have it, but I just don't see the functionality there. It's not. it's not something where I'm like, oh, thank God this has a touchscreen. That was going to be a deal breaker for me.
Well, artistry and graphic designers and whatnot. I think it's probably more tailored to them.
Yeah, I'm sure that it. I mean, yeah, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't want to talk about touchscreen laptops.
Sounds good. Let's move on.
Well, I just wanted to mention because you brought it up earlier when you and I were talking. AirPods Pro. Apple brought out the AirPods Pro. They look phenomenal. I'm a little upset that I got the AirPods 2. But they do sell them alongside the AirPods 2, so you know for $50 more, it's $250. You get the AirPod Pros. Those are in-ear headphones, and they also have active noise canceling. The little stem is a little bit shorter, and then they don't advertise better battery life, but reviewers have been finding that it has better battery life by about an hour than the AirPod 2s. And they come in a wireless charging case. I like them. I kind of want them. Because I always want something, anything shiny and made by Apple, I pretty much just buy. So I kind of want them, but I cannot get them with my brand new AirPod 2s. I just can't justify that, so I probably won't. You also have brand new Beats Pros, or Power Beat Pros, so yeah. You probably won't be getting any anytime soon. But it's interesting. I think it's cool. That offers that in-ear headphone solution to anybody that was complaining about it before. And active noise canceling is cool. That's what like turns me on to them the most. But like I never had a problem with my AirPods the way that they are, so I don't know why I always get so antsy and I'm like, oh, I should try something new because I tried the Power Beats Pros too, and it wasn't for me. They hurt my ears, but they stuck in really well. Anyways, so the AirPod Pros, they look good. I'm sorry, AirPods Pro. It's really weird naming. I like them. Maybe if I get them, I'll tell you how they are because there's still a chance that I get them because that's just the way that I am. Anyways, leaving that, I wanted to jump over to gaming to kind of wrap this episode up. Feels a little bit short. I don't know if it is. Somewhat. So I wanted to talk just one thing in terms of gaming, and that is Pokemon Sword and Shield. So Pokemon Sword and Shield just came out. As of the episode, as of our recording the episode, it actually comes out tomorrow from our perspective. But as you're listening to the episode, it's already been out for a few days. Now the thing is with this game is that there's a lot of kind of like conflict with the fans versus what we want versus what Game Freak is willing to give us. So I'm just going to kind of go over that a little bit because I think I can lend myself a little bit better to it than Victor can. Yes. Being a Switch owner myself and playing a lot of the Pokemon games. Every single Pokemon game, every mainline Pokemon game up to this point has had every Pokemon capable of being in the game. All the Pokemon have been able to be in every single game. Now, it's important to note that all these games have been handheld. All the mainline Pokemon games have been handheld games. This Switch is kind of a handheld console, but it's kind of not because it's also can function as a home console. So it's the like highest graphical fidelity that they've ever had to deal with. Game Freak has. And they didn't deliver. If you're asking my opinion, if you're asking the opinion of many others, they cut out about half the Pokemon. I think it was something along the lines of 300 Pokemon. They're missing about 140 plus moves. Their claim about this as to why there was going to be no, what is it called? I want to say national dex or something. I don't know. Anyways, I'm sorry. I don't know all the technical terms. I'm just to be honest with you. Although I bought Sun and Moon and I played a little bit of it, the last Pokemon game that I really played was X and Y. I love Pokemon. I loved Pokemon a lot as a kid. But I have kind of, lost my excitement for it. I really did want to get into Sword and Shield, to be honest with you, but the things that I've seen really dishearten me. The graphics don't look that great. The draw distances don't look very good either. There's pop-in if you are walking around their like big wild area that they have, and apparently the area is really not that big. So they didn't create the world that people expected. I guess there's no Elite Four. Which means there's no Victory Road. There's graphical errors with it. They're missing Pokemon. They reused animations from other games on the 3DS
Mm.
And so they basically have been reusing assets. And one of their biggest claims is that the reason why all the Pokemon aren't going to be in the game, because they knew people would be upset about it, is because they want to make sure that they give us a really high quality, fight animations, things like that. And they didn't even perform on that because they're just reusing assets in quite a few cases, which I'm sure you can find videos online. Victor and I aren't going to be doing anything like that.
Yep.
But it's super disheartening to see this. And, a lot of fans are, reasonably upset. And I'm kind of
It
of the
should be.
mindset of if you don't like it, don't buy it. And I'm not trying to say that in a bad way. I'm just saying that you vote with your wallet. And apparently, not all the game journalists are of that mindset. Instead, they just call gamers entitled. They just call us entitled gamers for wanting
Mm-hmm.
more out of a Pokemon game, for wanting it to at least live up to the expectation of any other Pokemon game.
That really
And
grinds my gears.
this franchise has been for a little while more of like a yearly entry. And that's kind of disappointing because Game Freak claims that they needed to get this game out and this is the way that they were going to do it. Instead of delaying the game and putting all Pokemon in there and actually trying, they're just releasing something quickly. And, that's the product that you buy into if you're buying this product. And if you're okay
You
with
don't.
that, then buy it. But I don't like the idea, and I'm not going to call anybody out in particular. There's plenty of games journalists that do this. But you know what? I'm not going to say their name, but in particular, there's one game journalist from GameSpot, I believe, that has said something about it in terms of gamers are entitled, something along those lines, for wanting more out of the game. And I think we're all entitled to our own opinion. It's okay if they think that. I don't think they should have voiced their opinion if they feel that way. And I really don't think that, especially as a games review site, you should be attacking your own, the people coming to check out the game. For some reason, it's getting high scores from IGN in particular and GameSpot. And people are kind of questioning it. It's objective. Some people might not care that these Pokemon are taken out. And I'm not going to say that they're not a diehard fan. I mean, that you might just be a super diehard fan, so you're willing to look past a lot of the problems and say, hey, it's still a 9 out of 10 or a 9.5 out of 10 or whatever. Reviews are subjective.
Yeah.
But don't call people entitled because they want the game to live up to the expectation of previous entries. It's not entitlement. That's misrepresentation, and I'm just tired of seeing that. I really want games journalism to kind of stop attacking the fans of these video games for wanting more out of a developer. Sometimes you get it. The Sonic movie is a really good example of this. Sonic came out, people were unhappy with the design. Honestly, people probably wouldn't have went to the cinema to go see it. And now they changed it because of the vocal majority saying, hey, we're not going to go see this movie because this looks bad. They changed it, make it look good. A lot of people are like, thank goodness, now it looks good. Maybe I'll go see it. That is a way of, you're giving the fans what they want. Why wouldn't you give the fans what they want?
Exactly.
They're not asking for free product. They're just asking for better product because they're paying
As,
for it.
and as technology advances, like there's no technological reason why you wouldn't just include them all anyway.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I mean, there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to if they've been able to do it in all the other games. And they didn't really make the game like this explosive awesomeness of high fidelity graphics.
It's a marketing thing, man.
Somebody compared it to Dragon Quest 11. And Dragon Quest 11 looks great on Switch, plays great on Switch, has over 700 monsters or something like that you can collect in that game. And that just makes Game Freak look bad in terms of Pokemon and why they can't get it out. And we can't put all the Pokemon in the game. How? Somebody else did it. I mean, it's not necessarily Pokemon, but it's close. It's a good comparison, and it looks better than your game, too. So now what are the excuses? I'm just tired of excuses. Just come out and tell us, look, this is a yearly franchise at this point, and we're just, it's not that we're giving up. It's just that in order to make it a yearly franchise, which seems like what the market wants, we're going to be, cutting a couple corners where it counts. But anyways, yeah. So I don't mean to end it on such a harsh note. I think next week we will talk some Black Friday deals coming up. That way we can, bring you guys some Black Friday goodness and hopefully direct your attention to some good companies giving out some good deals. Best Buy has their ad that you can preview. We'll go over some stuff. They got some great game deals coming out from Best Buy. I think Target also has their ad available for preview, so I would check it out. But we're going to highlight some stuff that we see off those ads next week. And then the only other thing that I wanted to say before we close out is if you watch anime, watch Demon Slayer because it's amazing. I just finished the first season, and it's probably my favorite anime. Just instantly right at the top, right up there next to Noragami, which Victor doesn't know what that is either. But
I agree because Nick has good choice in anime shows.
Yep, there we go. That's what I'm saying. Anyways, it's really good. Super quality animation, great voice acting. On the Japanese end, I haven't heard the English version yet. I don't know if the English dub's out yet. I know they're coming out with one. Super good story. Every episode is compelling. It's just so good. And even the first season ends with you wanting more, but it doesn't end on such a cliffhanger that you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I don't have it now. So I'm just excited to see what comes.
And I did want to slip
great.
in an anime. If you haven't seen it, check out Dragon Tales. They're pretty awesome as well. I do like that.
What'd you say? Dragon Tales?
Yeah, Dragon Tales. So you guys know what I'm talking about.
Oh my god. Just ignore him. Just ignore his suggestion. Anyways, so it's been fun. Thanks for joining us this week.
See you till next time.